Welcome aboard. In this classic debate between Professor Atkins and John Lennox, the atheist Atkins is questioned on the topic of resurrection and belief in God. Atkins is asked if there's any evidence that would flip him to become a believer. You'll be shocked to hear his response.
Is there any evidence that would flip me into the belief camp and so on? And I simply can't think of any. I think if I tell myself that if I agreed with some evidence, then it showed that I'd simply gone mad.
Right.
So it's a serious question, but I don't think there can be any evidence.
Are you saying your position is unfalsifiable in that sense?
Yes, because even if I was standing, at the foot of a cross and saw the resurrection before my very eyes, I would put it down to hallucination. It's an extension of the David Hume argument, which you didn't quite complete, because Hume went on to say that there is always more reason to disbelieve the reporter than what he is reporting.
Here, David's Hume argument suggests that we are not to trust information blindly, but put to the test for the veracity of every claims. This argument is not a call to disbelieve all information about the historical events. If that's the case, one can never be sure about any historical events of the ancient past. Interestingly, Atkins is skeptical, but also unwilling to accept any possible evidences to his belief system. Now, John Lennox gives a fitting response to his arguments.
Well, I'm very interested in what he said at the end, that he would believe it was a hallucination. And he mentioned to me before that the psychologist would work on what I say, but they'd work on what he said. And one of the evidences for the resurrection of Jesus actually is the work psychologists have done in pointing out that it could not have been a hallucination. He was seen by over 500 people at once, different times of day or night, and all this kind of thing. But there are things that would reverse me.
Okay, tell us what they are.
I joined Peter. If you could give me evidence that gospel writers, for example, like Luke, were not authentic, if you could give me evidence that there's a really convincing explanation that Jesus did not rise from the dead, if you could show me that all the experiences I've had in life with my family and with other people that I would definitively put down to the activity of God, then I'd be prepared to consider. But those cumulative evidences in my life are so large that I don't think it's likely to happen. But I have to be open to that. Why? Because you see, ladies and gentlemen, because I come from a very religious country, I was accused, and I've been accused tonight of the same thing, of course you believe that stuff, you're Irish, is the old Freudian explanation. So what have I done? I spent my entire life opening up my Christian commitment to its opposite. Is exactly what I'm doing tonight. And I spent my life doing it. A lot of it in Russia, incidentally, where you meet really hard atheism. And doing that, constantly questioning my own position, has confirmed my position. Now, Peter, do you constantly question your own position? Or do you see no reason to do that?
I see no reason to do that.
Yes, well, I see great reason to do it because I don't want to be fooled.
But I see in you an example of the power of cultural conditioning that takes place during childhood.
Well, Peter, I could argue the same. You see, the Freudian argument that says the religion is wish fulfillment, it works brilliantly if there is no God. But you see, I would want to argue that if there is a God, Peter's atheism can equally well be explained as wish fulfillment, the desire never to have to encounter God. The Freudian argument doesn't deal with the basic question, is there a God or not? So I simply think
But see, I want to understand the workings of the world on this side of the grave.
So do I.
You seem to want to understand them on the other side.
But why not of both, Peter? It's a bigger universe than just this side of the grave.
Because there isn't anything on the other side.
But that's just an assertion.
No, it's the lack of evidence.
In the first place, Atkins admits that no evidences will suffice to change his position about the resurrection. But when questioned as to whether he would be able to disprove the evidences from the eyewitnesses and testimonies of the gospel writers, he simply brushes it off as inconsequential. and not historical, hence proven once again that it's not the lack of evidence, but the suppression of it. Thanks for watching. God bless you.